Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for attending the webinar and the presentation rather for New South Wales. I am with Pooja Razdan, the Business Development Manager India for Destination New South Wales. Pooja will be taking us through this beautiful destination and we can't wait to hear from her. Over to you, Pooja. Thank you so much for joining in.
Thank you so much, Nikita. And thank you everyone who has joined in today. My name is Pooja Razdan and I work for Destination New South Wales. Firstly, I hope you and your family are doing well and safe in these troubled times. Um, as far as Australia goes, I'm sure you all are aware that our borders are closed at the moment. However, this is just temporary. So we're here to talk about, new products and new self drives in New South Wales that you can prepare and keep in advance for your clients and sort of be ready to go as soon as our borders open up. I mean, given the kind of situation and the past 1.5 years, that we've all been through, I think the way we travel is sort of going to change. We see a difference in people are going to be more interested in road trips in isolated venues, and basically they're going to be traveling a whole lot differently, which is why we thought that today would be a great time for us to introduce some of our driving routes in the New South Wales regions, and I hope to take you through some of them. So yeah, let's start. This is basically some of the topics that we are going to cover in our presentation. Of course, no visit to Australia would be complete without visiting our capital, Sydney. After that, we'll cover a few of the great drives of New South Wales, which are actually places that are close to Sydney, which you can cover as a day trip or maybe a one-nighter. Then we'll move forward to towards a little bit towards the north, which is the legendary Pacific Coast Drive, which is the Sydney to Queensland Drive. We'll talk about a little bit about things that you can do on the way, etc., etc. The second main drive in New South Wales is the Sydney Melbourne Drive, which ends at Merimbula, of course, in the New South Wales region. And lastly, we'll share our contact details with you to get in touch with us and help you plan your itineraries better. So a little bit about where we are located. We are located on the east coast of Australia, between two other very popular states, Queensland and Victoria. We're very close to the capital, Canberra. Sydney is our capital, and of course, I'm sure you all know, and many of you may have already visited, home to some of the iconic structures like the Sydney Opera House, the Harbour Bridge. There is so much to do within Sydney, but also outside of it at drivable distances. These are some of our surrounding regions that we will cover in due course of this presentation. So as I told you earlier, Sydney is of course our capital city and always also works out to be a gateway city where most tourists use it at least to come in or go out of Australia. It is one of the key cities in Australia, and as it is home to something that you can immediately sort of identify Australia with, the Sydney Harbour Bridge, and of course the iconic Sydney Opera House. Talking a little bit about Sydney, this harbour bridge that we talk about is, I'm sure you all know, but you can also climb that Sydney Harbour Bridge. So you can get on top of that bridge through not a very strenuous climb. And at the end of it, you can also get a certificate for it. So whenever we start our borders and whenever you are selling Sydney again, which I hope is very soon, do ensure that you do include the Sydney Harbour Bridge climb in your itinerary. Of course, for a cricket crazy nation like ours, we are also home to the legendary Sydney Cricket Ground, where many matches were won and lost between India and Australia. We are also home to some of the best beaches, bars, restaurants. And the best part about Sydney is that there is something to do for everybody. So whether you have a mice group, whether you have honeymooners, whether you have youth, whether you have families with kids, we have the Madame Tussauds Museum, there's Wildlife Sydney, there's something to do for everybody. We are actually also home to the biggest Sound, Light, and Innovations Festival in the Southern Hemisphere. It's called as Vivid Sydney, and usually, of course, pre-COVID, used to take place for about 2 to 3 weeks every year in the months of May to June. It used to work really well for India because it was actually during our own, summer holidays or peak summer season. So it was a great time to be in Australia, weather-wise, to see Vivid Sydney. And I really hope, those days come back again very soon, and we can all, together. Send most of your clients to actually witness the magic that is Vivid Sydney. But meanwhile, we can hope, we can pray, and we can definitely plan. Moving forward to the Great Drives of New South Wales, just to make this a little easy for you, we have divided the drives into a northern triangle and a southern triangle. So the orange obviously represents the north coast, while as the blue represents the south coast. Now in this map, as you can see, we have Blue Mountains in the blue triangle, but however, due to its location, it can be sort of put in the South Coast itinerary or the North Coast itinerary. It doesn't really matter. In fact, it could also be just a drive of its own, where you could do a drive to Sydney Blue Mountains and come back. Before I start talking about the drives, just to let you know that the Indian license is, as long as it is in English, is actually valid in Australia and throughout New South Wales, obviously, because we drive on the same side of the road. But yeah, it has to be in English. So these itineraries, the North Coast itinerary and the South Coast itinerary, are close drives from Sydney. So I'll share this with you. This is the North Triangle, the orange triangle, and you will see that the distances from one place to another are actually no more than about 100, 150 kilometers. So they're very close to Sydney, and hence, depending on your clients, the amount of time they have, the amount of, their budget, what they're looking to do, you can actually alter these itineraries depending on their preferences. So this one is actually talks about covering Sydney. It talks about covering the oldest wine region in Australia, which is Hunter Valley. It covers Port Stephens from Hunter Valley, which is a great place to watch some dolphins, to do some water activities, and also sandboarding. There's lots to do in Port Stephens, quad biking on the dunes. From Port Stephens, on the way back to Sydney, you can stop over at Central Coast. Now, as I said, depending on the requirements of your clients, obviously we will cover this in great details. But if your client has only one night, they can always drive to Hunter Valley and come back. Or all these itineraries can actually be altered, and we're happy to sort of work with you. When the time is right, and when you actually have a client requirement once the borders open. And this is the Southern Coast itinerary. So in this, of course, you cover the iconic Grand Pacific Drive. That's the image on day one that you can see. That is the drive from Sydney to Wollongong. You can go further down from Wollongong to Jervis Bay. Jervis Bay is very famous again for its dolphin and whale watching cruises. From Jervis Bay, you go to Southern Highlands. Southern Highlands actually is home to a place called Bowral. Now, Sir Donald Bradman was actually born there, and there is an International Cricket Hall of Fame that is dedicated to him in Bowral. And it's not only, it has a lot of Indian cricket references as well. So it's very interesting for an Indian tourist to actually go there. From the Southern Highlands, you can drive up to the Blue Mountains. Of course, I'm sure that all of you already know Blue Mountains is famous for the Three Sisters, for Scenic World, the steepest train in the world, Jenolan Caves, and so many other things to do there. And then from Blue Mountains, they can drive back to Sydney. So these are sort of like two short drives that can happen. So for example, if your clients are staying in Sydney for 3 nights and then they have additional 2 nights or something like that, you could offer them a self drive to one of these locations depending on their preferences. So these are some of the additional experiences, in various locations in the Orange Triangle and the Blue Triangle. So in Port Stephens, we have a very new koala sanctuary. There is an Irukanji Shark and Stingray Center where your clients can go and actually feed baby sharks. They can get into the water and feed baby sharks and stingrays. So that's really cool and exciting. If they are into adventure sports, they can go to Central Coast on their way back uh, to or from Sydney, and they can experience the world's longest zip line at the treetop Central Coast. They can go and actually visit an authentic working pearl farm. I think that would be a great place to shop. And of course, everywhere, including Sydney, they have opportunities to meet and greet and click their selfies with Australian native animals as well. Coming a little bit towards the south, which is that blue triangle that we showed you earlier, as I spoke to you about Bowral, it's great because they have the International Cricket Museum, which is so interesting because it has so many Indian references. We also have a very popular tulip festival, just like the one in Amsterdam, in the southern coast of New South Wales. If you want more details about all these events, you just can check out our event calendar on our website, which I can share with you, which I will share with you at the end of this presentation, or you can get in touch with me and we can share the events as and when they happen. Of course, all this will be applicable more once the borders open, but yeah, we can still add you to the database, so at least you know when that happens. Moving forward, now these are the two self-drives that we were talking, the two main self-drives in New South Wales. This one is towards the north. So it's actually, if you see on the map of Australia, this is the drive from Sydney all the way to Queensland. It's about 820 kilometers from Sydney up to Byron Bay. So it can take you 10 hours, but obviously we don't advise you to drive the whole distance without taking stopovers in the way. So we have divided this itinerary into 7 days, but of course, depending, again, this is what I say, that's the best part about self-drive. Depending on your client's interest, depending on your client's budget, and depending on what he's looking for or how much he wants to drive, all these things can be altered. And the best part is if they're really, your clients are really into self-driving and you really want to show them New South Wales in detail, this itinerary, you could also add the orange triangle that we showed you in the previous itinerary to this itinerary and make a really detailed sort of trip of the North Coast. I'm happy. I mean, I understand that over 30 minutes, all this information may be too much. But if you want me to share this presentation with you so that you have it for your ready reference whenever you are ready to make these itineraries, do let me know and I'll be happy to share it with you. So as I told you, this is the Sydney to Byron Bay itinerary that we have divided over 6 or 7 nights. Again, if you see the driving distances, and of course on roads like these that you can see on the image, or even the highways, the roads are so good, you hardly feel, the pressure of driving, and there's not too much. So if you cover it over a week, you're hardly driving 150, 200 kilometers a day. Now, what are the things that you can actually do or your clients can actually do in all these places? So Sydney, we already covered, of course, and I'm sure you already know there is a lot to cover in Sydney for, whoever's looking for whatever. We have the beaches, we have the restaurants, we have the wildlife parks, we have the zoos, we have the Harbour Bridge, the Opera House. There's always something to do in Sydney. But coming to the regions, So the first stop that we recommend on this legendary Pacific Coast Drive is Lake Macquarie. As you can see, the highlight of Lake Macquarie is this Caves Beach, a very Instagrammable, perfect, since everyone's living off Instagram these days. This is a perfect location for them to click their selfies and their, all their posts and make their reels and all of that. But besides that, also you can just hire a kayak, you can spend time on the beach. Newcastle, on the other hand, is actually home to one of the very important Australian universities. So you can understand it's like a student city. There's so much to do there. Really cool bars, really good restaurants, and it's got a very lively art and music scene as well. Moving forward to Port Macquarie, I think the highlight of Port Macquarie is the Koala Hospital. I think this is a must do for everyone who visits there. It's so interesting to see koalas like that. They conduct tours every day at 3 p.m. So make sure that if you are giving your clients this itinerary, if you're sending them to Port Macquarie, that they are there at 3 p.m. to visit to take a tour of the Koala Hospital. Moving forward to a place called Coffs Harbour. Coffs Harbour is a great place on this itinerary, especially if you're traveling with family, with kids, because they have a beautiful amusement park called the Big Banana Fun Park. So it's full of these rides that your kids can play on. They also have the Dolphin Marine Conservation Park, where you get a chance to interact and watch dolphin shows. Of course, they have the most beautiful and most blue water beaches where you can see kangaroos in the wild, just hanging around, as you can see in this image. And of course, if you are there or if your clients are there between May and November, you also can get to see whales. Moving further up north to one of my personal favorite places in Australia, it's called as Byron Bay. It is so north of Sydney that it's actually closer to Queensland. It's about a 45-minute drive from Gold Coast. So from Sydney it takes this long, but from Gold Coast you can actually reach in 45 minutes. And it is a great place for people or for Indian tourists to actually get the true meaning or understand Aussie life. This is where the Australians go to chill. This is where the Australians go for holidays. It's got a great adventure sports scene. So if your clients are into skydiving, they can go kayaking on the beach with dolphins and whales, of course, during the season. There is so much to do there. Even if they are not into adventure sports, it has a great jazz music scene. The food, the farm to table concept is huge in Byron Bay. The food is mind blowing. There is an events calendar because again, there's constantly something or the other happening. They've got some great family resorts as well. So again, depending on who your clients are, what they're looking for, I think 2 or 3 nights to spend in Byron Bay would be the perfect end to this drive that they undertake from Sydney. So that was a little bit about the LPC, which is the legendary Pacific Coast Drive that I was talking about from Sydney up north. Now, if you talk about going south, which is the Sydney Merimbula Coastal Drive, which will eventually lead you to Melbourne. This is, of course, as you can see, this is a shorter drive. This is about 500 kilometers and would take you about 7-8 hours. Of course, again, we don't recommend you doing it in one go. So we've created an itinerary for you to see here as well. Really great if you are or your clients are a fan of the sea. They've got some beautiful coastal seaside towns along the whole drive. And let's take you through them now. So this itinerary, again, we have divided into 6-7 nights. And again, as you can see, the driving distances are hardly any. So your clients will not be too tired and will get enough time to spend at each location. Again, I cannot stress this enough, but depending on how much time they have, you can sort of tweak this itinerary, or how much they want to drive or how little they want to drive. You can tweak this itinerary along the way. So the first stop generally on the Sydney Marambula Drive is Wollongong. It is actually again, it's a university city like Newcastle, and it is also the third largest city in New South Wales. Besides being home to stunning beaches, it is also home to this beautiful drive that you see in this image. It is a drive of the Seacliff. This is called the Grand Pacific Drive, basically, and this is the Seacliff Bridge. Another highlight is doing Harley Davidson tours on this Seacliff Bridge. I mean, if you sell that product to your clients, it's something they're not going to forget for a very, very long time. Besides this, of course, you can visit the Illawarra Fly Treetop Adventure. This is an award-winning treetop walk, and they also have a zip line here. And you can visit Symbio Wildlife Park, where you can get your clients can get a fix of their Aussie native animals. Further south from Wollongong is a place called Kiama. Now, this is a beautiful town with beautiful coastal walks, rainforest trails. It also has the iconic Kiama blowhole, where you can actually see plumes of water just erupt from their natural formation. So it's so beautiful and works as a perfect stopover from when you're driving from Sydney through Wollongong to Kiama, or even further down south. And also, Kiama is also home to Kangaroo Valley, a place where you can see tons and tons of kangaroos just roaming around in the wild. Now, further south from Kiama is a place called Jervis Bay. Again, very, very famous for its dolphin watching tours and in season for its whale watching tours. Jervis Bay is also home to some of the award-winning beaches, some of the cleanest beaches in Australia, in the world. They're also home to some of the whitest, I think the whitest sand beach in Australia is in Jervis Bay. It's called as Hyams Beach and one of the cleanest as well. The water is so clean. You're going to spot dolphins like a lot of dolphins everywhere once you are on or your clients are on that cruise. And of course, as I said, during the season, hopefully they can spot some whales as well. Besides that, if your clients are into seafood, then this is a great place to get some freshly caught seafood as well. Further south from Jervis Bay is a place called Bateman's Bay. Now, Bateman's Bay is actually very famous for its oysters. So again, if you have foodie clients who like eating local food, then this is your place to go. If not, if they're not into oysters or they're vegetarian, they can also see other attractions like visiting the award-winning original Gold Rush colony. It actually creates the whole 19th century gold mining village of Mogo. So it's very interesting and it's a great place for people who might not be interested in eating those oysters. Just quickly before I move forward, I'd also like to cover that Indian restaurants are freely available all across New South Wales, no matter how deep you go into the regions. So if your clients, are fond of Indian food and that's all they want to eat, including vegetarian Indian options, they're easily available all through New South Wales. So never deter from selling any region, assuming that there won't be any Indian food available. Just get in touch with me and I'll be able to share a list of these Indian restaurants that you can recommend to your clients. Now, Naruma again is a perfect escape, with plenty of accommodation choices because it is, as you can see in the image as well, it is a seaside haven of. I mean, it's just beautiful. It's got furry seals. It's got fur seals that your clients can see, which is really interesting. If they're into swimming, snorkeling, or diving with the seals, that's again something that your clients can experience. If they're interested in knowing more about Aboriginal culture, then this island is very culturally significant. So I'm sure they can get as much information as they might be interested in. And lastly, of course, there is Merimbula. So this coast, this drive, this coast that we have taken you on right now is also called as the Sapphire Coast. So Merimbula again is very famous for a certain type of oysters, which are supposed to be very priced. So if your clients are into fresh seafood, I think this should definitely be on their list. And of course, besides many other things, it's also popular for whale watching during the season, which is May to November. I've just tried to cover, basic drives and things to do in these places. So to sum it up, the legendary Pacific Coast Drive, which is the one from Sydney to the north, which is Byron Bay, and of course the south, which is Sydney to Merimbula, which will eventually take you to Melbourne. We also try to cover the Great Drives, which is your Sydney, Hunter Valley, Port Stephens Drive, uh, the north coast, and then the south, which would be your Sydney, Jervis Bay, Blue Mountains, back to Sydney Drive. I understand that all of that can be too much to absorb in like 20 minutes. So these are our email addresses. These are our websites. Of course, we have a travel trade toolkit as well. So please log on, please download it. It will help you with all the information. I think it's always better. I know our borders are closed at the moment, but I think it's always better to be prepared so that as soon as our borders open, you and us together, we can work together and make sure that New South Wales is top of the mind of every tourist that's planning to go to Australia. We also have a section, as you can see, on drives and road trips. So that would also cover a lot of the information that we've already spoken about. We also have a content library, which has access to tons of free images, videos, social media videos, anything that you would like to use or sort of upload on your social media websites. Get in touch with me, and I will be happy to help you with the link to that as well. Besides that, lastly, if you write to any of us with your details, we'll add you to our database if you're not there already, so that we can keep you posted of things like border openings, new products, new events as and when they happen. And do also complete the Aussie Specialist program if you haven't done so already, because that will also help you with all the information that you require. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you for attending. And if you have any questions, I'm going to be on the booth for the next until 6 p.m. So if you have any questions or if you would want to discuss something, please do drop by so that we can take the discussion forward. Thank you once again. Thank you.
Thank you, Pooja. Thank you for the lovely presentation. And audience, I hope you found the presentation informative. With so many itineraries that were shared, I was excited because this really means that before the border opens, the audience is well equipped and they can actually plan their itineraries, learn in advance, and also get themselves equipped. And then when the borders open, they're all ready to move in and promote it to their clients. And as I said, as Pooja said, if there are any questions, Pooja is available at her booth, New South Wales, so you can meet her for any doubts. Thank you so much once again for signing in. Pooja, thank you very much for sharing the information. And we're signing off now. Thank you. Take care. Bye bye.